few questions, few pointers. And the first thing we're going to start off is going to be to everyone. And I'm going to set a scenario for all you guys and all you listeners. We're at the Bantamweight Boxing Promotions. Yes, it's finally happened. Years after the podcast has started, we're finally into the promoting business. And we're in charge of Tyson Fury and the rest of his career. He's got 4 fights left, and that's not including his next Wilder fight. And each one of us has got an opportunity to say who we would like Tyson to fight next after each other. So I'm going to start with the first fight after Wilder. Then we're going to move to Jim, and then Yohan, and then Joe will say Tyson Fury's final fight. So I'm going to kick it off. And for me, I'm assuming, obviously, and I think we all are, that Tyson Fury is going to beat Wilder in this trilogy fight. And then I want to put him up against Dillian Whyte in a big clash for that WBC belt and finally find out who is the real WBC champ. After all the time Whyte's been waiting for it, I think it's only fair. And I just think it would be a great fight. I've seen already on social media the beef between those two. They're going at it, and they've properly pissed each other off. Like, they're going crazy on Twitter, shouting at each other, saying whatever. So I think for the press conference alone between those two characters,
completely.
The wolf and the gypsy, it would be just something incredible.
Yeah, but
incredible.
Sounds like a film.
Yeah, the wolf and the gypsy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also as well, moving into the actual fight itself, I think if Whyte can get into Fury's head enough or whatever, he can maybe draw Fury into a bit of a scrap.
I think
that could be quite interesting. But I think ultimately how I'd see that fight going is, Whyte is an all or nothing kind of guy, isn't he? And he would give 100% and try and draw Fury into the fight. I think Fury technically is probably just a bit too good for Whyte. And I think I would actually predict, unlike many, probably Tyson Fury to knock him out or TKO him probably later in the fight. Because I think Whyte would just give 110%, and then round 10 or whatever would probably start to gas out a little bit. And then I think Fury, his boxing ability would take over and probably beat Whyte.
Yeah.
But that would be my first fight for Tyson Fury. And then so obviously he's got to win. So on to the next one. Jim. Where does Tyson Fury go for you now?
If he defeated Whyte, there is only one clash to be made, in my opinion, and that has got to be with the other British superstar heavyweight champion, Anthony Joshua. And really, it is 2 massive names, not just in British boxing, but British sport, colliding to unify the heavyweight division. A fascinating fight. I think, again, I would probably tip the scales in Tyson Fury's favour. But I think AJ probably has a better track record of keeping himself in shape. And I think that could give him a slight advantage. I think also the other advantage, and we've spoken about this before on the podcast, is AJ, for the first time really in his career, he goes into a fight where he is the underdog, and removing that pressure may just free him up a bit. He was very stiff in his last fight against Ruiz, and you could feel the expectation and pressure on him. And I just think against Fury, he might surprise a few people. Fury's been caught a number of times in his career. He is no doubt the better boxer, but when you're in that heavyweight division, it's just one punch, baby. And that is me.
Nice. Have we lost Mike? Mike.
Hello?
Mike's busy trying to make that fight.
Yeah.
I've just sold it so much that Mike is on the fucking phone to Eddie Hearn.
Hello,
He's got Ed Warren. He's got Frank Warren on one line. He's got Eddie Hearn on the other. He's making it happen.
Yeah, Mike, I think we can hear you.
Hello?
Mike,
Mike,
you back? Because we'll just take this fucking podcast over, mate. You've been holding us back for way too long.
Who's number 3? Who's going third?
Go on, Yohan. It's all you, mate.
Is it me? I'm gonna add a little bit of comedy into it. I'm gonna go for Fury v Chisora 3. I'm gonna mix it up and throw another smaller
The
fella.
trilogy we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna throw another smaller fella into the mix, maybe Andy Ruiz. Fury would have to battle them at the same time, like the T-Rex v Velociraptors in Jurassic Park, or I'd have someone slick like Billy Joe Saunders on Tyson Fury's shoulders fighting someone heavy fisted like Povetkin or Takam on AJ's shoulders. Some kind of combination like that. A real freak show. And that's, I think aside from that, I think the only other fight I want to see is the one that Joe is going to talk about, really. Every other fight, I mean, we've covered it, haven't we? We've talked about the top.
So I was going to say, 4 years down the line after that freak show, what Daniel Dubois is the name that sprung to my mind. He's 22 now, will be 26. Fury will be 35. It's the perfect sort of, passing the torch on. I'd love to see that. Dubois has got a lot of potential, big hitter. And the only other thing I was thinking, how about we finally, settle the beef with David Price? If he's not too busy in the plumbing industry or whatever he's doing now, get him back and finally, you big stiff idiot, get them two in there. I think that, settle the beef.
But the thing with Dubois is he's the only fighter that Big John Fury has said could challenge his son.
Oh, really?
In the years, he's the only fighter because although he has also said that no man born could beat him.
Dubois does speak like he was made in a lab, to be fair.
True.
That's a great fight coming up, isn't it? Dubois.
Joe
Joyce.
Joe Joyce, right?
Joe Joyce. Seek and destroy. A lot of effort went into the marketing of that fight.
No, that is a good one. For Fury, the only other name I'm thinking is Usyk. We'll see how he fares in the heavyweight division. That's
interesting fight, that one.
You just added a little bit of spice to that, Joe.
Yeah, I didn't throw that in there.
Yeah, the Usyk one is an interesting one to see if Usyk can do it with the big boys. It's against Fury, he can really prove that. So that would be a great fight.
We'll have to see some more fights with him at heavyweight before you could even consider that fight.
Also, you got to consider what state Tyson Fury is going to be in 4 years. I mean, look at him, the difference in 2 years and how he is now. I mean, it could be a binman. I don't know.